So, hello everyone. My name is Sarah Kane, and I'm the Sustainability and Resilience Manager for Sarasota County. And I've been with the county for about 8 years, and I really enjoy what I do. And I'm going to talk about some of our sustainability and resilience projects today. So just kind of give you an overview. I'm going to first talk about our office overall, our department, IFAS Extension, and we're in Sarasota. For those of you that are not here, we're in Sarasota, Florida, and it's on the west coast of Florida, south of Tampa. Then I'm going to be talking about our sustainability goals, some current and future projects for both mitigation and adaptation. So some of the mitigation projects I'm going to talk about are energy efficiency, green buildings, solar and electric vehicles. And then some of the adaptation projects I'm going to be talking about are our vulnerability assessment and adaptation resilience plan that we're currently working on with the county. And then I'm going to wrap up with some education and outreach efforts and some exciting events we have coming up. So if you are in Sarasota, that's great. And we hope to see you at some of our events. If you have any questions, please just enter your questions in the chat. And then when I'm done with the presentation, I'm going to stop recording and then I'm going to answer your questions. And we will also be sending you a PDF copy of this presentation afterwards as well. And you'll have our contact information there. So if you have any other questions afterwards, please feel free to ask. And so just so you know a little bit about our department, we're one of 18 departments in the county. And we have 6 core areas, and we are a partnership between the University of Florida and Sarasota County. And we, excuse me one second, let me just minimize this. We are a partnership with the university, and we use research and resources to address our local community needs throughout the community, and we do classes and outreach and volunteer programs. We have 6 different core areas here in our office, and we are out at Twin Lakes Park. If you're a Sarasota resident, that's on Clark Road, east of 75. We have agriculture, sustainability, community and school gardens, residential horticulture, our Master Gardener program. We have a chemicals and the environment agent, and marine and coastal resources, ecology and natural resources, waste reduction, water resources. We also have a family nutrition program and our 4-H youth development. So anything that has to do with the environment, we cover in many different ways. So if you haven't heard of sustainability before, this is how we define it at Sarasota County: satisfying our present needs without compromising the ability of future generations to meet their needs. We like to think of it as a 3-legged stool or 3-pronged, or this Venn diagram, but it's people, planet, and prosperity is an easy way to remember it. And it really truly is a balancing act. So it should be a balanced approach. And that's what we try to look at in all of our programming, not just the environmental aspects, but also the economic aspects and the social aspects. So making sure that we have clean air and water for our people and our community and the environment and for the economy. So we actually started our sustainability office in 2002, which was pretty early on for a county government, especially in Florida, to have a sustainability office. We were one of the first in the nation to have a county sustainability program. And in 2005, we did a green building resolution. And all of these policies and resolutions and goals that were set early on in our program history, we still follow today. So in 2005, we did a green building resolution, which allows fast-track permitting for certified green buildings for residential in our community. It also makes a goal of setting all of our new county buildings as green certified buildings, which means they're more energy and water efficient. And in 2006, we did the 2030 Challenge Resolution, where we are setting a goal for any new county buildings to be designed to reduce energy and be carbon neutral by 2030. 2006, we did our roadmap to sustainability, which is our sustainability action plan. In 2008, we did an energy action plan. And in 2010, we did a community energy use and greenhouse gas emissions resolution, which basically sets goals for our community energy use to reduce emissions in the community. We just got our LEED Gold certification. Before that, though, in 2015, we were certified Gold Green Level Local Government by the Florida Green Building Coalition, and that was the highest county in Florida at the time. In 2016, we did a comp plan update where we added some language to promote energy efficiency, renewable energy, electric vehicles, sea level rise planning for public and private sectors. And in 2020, we did a Soul Smart Silver Award, and we joined the Tampa Bay Regional Resiliency Coalition. We also completed a vulnerability assessment. And then in 2020, we did a sustainability assessment report where we were really looking at all of our policies and goals that we have set and where we are at on those, some of the programs and accomplishments we have done under each category, and then how we can improve. So we've been implementing a lot of those things since then, and it was a really good process to go through. So we just received our LEED for Cities and Communities Gold certification, and it's a national accreditation for sustainability offices in cities and counties throughout the US. And it's allowed us to score ourselves in different categories and see where we're at in some of our initiatives and how we can improve. We do a lot of these projects that I'm going to be talking about today. They wouldn't be possible without grant funding. So that allows us to have more capacity and to do projects that we wouldn't normally be able to do if we didn't have funding for them. So since 2010, we've gotten $8.7 million in grants, mostly for community energy and electric and water efficiency projects for the community. So I'm going to talk about two ways that we deal with climate action and sustainability. One of those is mitigation, and we really need both mitigation and adaptation, right? So mitigation means just reducing greenhouse gas emissions, improving air quality by reducing emissions. So we try to do that in our county buildings, and we have an energy performance contract to reduce energy use in our buildings. And the money that we save on those projects and our utility bills goes back into the efficiency projects to do more. So that's a really great program. Currently, we have solar at 4 of our county buildings, but we are planning for more. We received $4 million for surtax funding that's going to start in 2025 to put solar on county buildings. We also are looking into this direct pay allocation that's now available for local governments and nonprofit organizations that will give us a 30% direct payment for solar projects starting next year. And we have 15 USGBC LEED certified buildings in our county. Like I said before, all of our new buildings are LEED certified. We have 1 Green Globes, and we have more in progress. Another big part of our mitigation efforts is to do community outreach on energy and water efficiency. So we have an energy upgrade program where we train volunteers to install and educate our low income and underserved community members about energy and water efficiency in their homes. And we have a partnership with Sarasota Housing Authority where we go into public housing and we do these upgrades for our citizens as well. And we also partner with nonprofit organizations like Mothers Helping Mothers, Senior Friendship Centers, and United Way. We do a lot of workshops and webinars. We do about 1 per month, so you're welcome to join us at any of those. And we give away materials that you can put in your home, like LED light bulbs, weatherization, insulation, faucet aerators and kitchen aerators, shower heads, things like that that will help you save money at home. We've also translated all of our education outreach materials into Spanish, and then one of our fact sheets are also translated into other languages. And we like to report on our metrics. So just this year in 2023 so far, we've reached over 1,000 residents, and they've saved a lot of energy and water, and that has in turn saved them money on their utility bills. So this is an example of one of our fact sheets that we have distributed, especially to those low-income communities that might need utility bill payment assistance or other financial aid. And so it has that information on one side, and on the other side, it has energy and water savings tips. This was really great for us to use and distribute during the pandemic, when a lot of people weren't meeting in person. So just so you know the need and why we are working with these groups of underserved community members, because there's a big energy burden in our community, and this is across the entire US and probably everywhere. But we have this very specific data for our area, and this has probably even changed and gotten greater over the last couple of years, because this data actually comes before the pandemic. They have not updated that data yet, but we have more than 53,000 low-income families that are cost burdened in our area, spending upwards of 30% of their monthly income on housing costs, and I'm sure that's gone up. And this is due in part by less efficient older homes. Low-income residents are spending 13 to 19% of their income just on energy bills alone, where median plus income folks are only spending 2 to 3%. So that's a huge difference. We have 4 out of 10 households that are cost burdened, and this is just a really big problem, especially when rent and housing is so expensive as well. So another grant mitigation program that we have for energy and water efficiency is our energy equity grant that we received from the state, the Florida Department of Agriculture and Consumer Services, and we did a low-income residential energy efficiency grant where we were installing, or actually providing rebates to affordable housing providers to install Energy Star appliances and HVAC systems. And so we installed 20 refrigerators and 19 HVAC systems at 3 different housing providers in Sarasota County. And this program was so popular, and we only had a small amount of money. So we're actually going to continue this program now with a new grant, the Energy Efficiency Conservation Block Grant funding, which will start hopefully next year. And we're working on that grant application right now. We also work with nonprofit organizations that serve low-income or underserved community members, or our environmental partners that are nonprofits. And so we are completed with this grant now, but we are still working with a local nonprofit to continue the program. But it's called Partners for Green Places, and we partnered with the City of Sarasota, the Baranczyk Foundation, the Gulf Coast Community Foundation of Sarasota County, and the Selby Foundation. And this grant started at about $300,000, and with the additional partnerships that we received, it got all the way up to almost $1 million in funding. And we provided 16 nonprofits with roadmaps, and then we also did energy upgrades in their buildings. So LED lighting, HVAC systems, insulation, water projects, all of these things are going to save them money on their utility bills. And then they can put that money back into their programming that serves underserved youth, provides childcare services, and all sorts of different things for these nonprofits. We also completed 4 solar projects too with this funding. One really good example that we did was Children's First, which is a local nonprofit, and they did a solar system, an HVAC system upgrade, LED lighting, weather stripping, window films, and faucet aerators. And they're saving 30% on their utility bills, and they reduce their fuel use and emissions by 90%, which is great. A new grant that we just received and are going to be working on the next 4 years is the EPA Climate Pollution Reduction Grant. It's through the Inflation Reduction Act, and it allocates $5 billion to reduce greenhouse gas emissions and other air pollutants throughout the entire nation. We received $1 million for planning for the Sarasota Manatee region. We're going to be working with a consultant to do greenhouse gas inventories, climate action plans, and a low-income disadvantaged communities study. And then we will be able to apply for, hopefully, by April of next year, some project grants to do some of the plans identified in our planning grant. And that would be a lot of different things that we could apply for to reduce emissions and improve air quality. And that could be transportation, electric power, buildings, industrial waste, water and sustainable materials, agriculture, or carbon removal measures. And it's all going to be based on a scoring system that EPA has, and it's going to be pretty competitive throughout the entire nation. So we're looking forward to applying for that if we can get some really good project ideas from our partners. Another thing to reduce air pollution is through sustainable transportation. We have 48 electric vehicle charging ports at 22 locations in the county. We have electric and hybrid fleet vehicles. We also have a charge up EV rebate program, EV station rebate program that's available throughout our community. And then we have our beautiful Legacy Trail, which is an 18.5-mile multi-use recreational trail connecting Sarasota and Venice, and it's actually expanding even more. And that helps reduce greenhouse gas emissions by making the county more bicycle and pedestrian friendly. So the second part of this is the adaptation part. And like I said before, you really need to do both mitigation, reducing emissions, and improving air quality for climate action, but you also need to adapt to what we are already experiencing with sea level rise and flooding and hurricanes, more frequent storms and things like that in our area. That's not going away. So we need to prepare for that. We need to prepare our county buildings. We also need to prepare our community and our community members. So we're working a lot on that. We joined the Tampa Bay Regional Resiliency Coalition to coordinate with the entire region of the Tampa Bay region. And so we all coordinate together, which is great. We also coordinate with the cities in our county. In 2020, we completed an internal sea level rise vulnerability assessment report that looks at sea level rise in our assets. And then right after that, we completed a baseline coastal analysis study. And right now we're working with FDEP funding on the Resilient Florida project. It's a planning grant to complete a comprehensive vulnerability assessment and resilience adaptation plan. What I'm most excited about this right now is that the end of next summer, we will have a prioritized list of projects that we can apply for more funding for. And this Resilient Florida program is not going away. It was a Florida state statute passed a couple years ago, and it allocates $100 million per year to do projects. So that's really exciting. We're also going to be doing a community level analysis too. That should be done by the end of next year. We also have many other sustainability classes. Some of you might have attended those before. We have our energy upgrade class that teaches all about the energy and water efficiency work I was talking about earlier. We have green living, age-friendly class, solar for kids, a financing program. We have electric vehicle class, rain barrel composting, solar, and more. So all of these classes are on the Eventbrite page. You probably registered on that for this class today, and you'll get a copy of this presentation with the link if you want to check it out later. We also, if you're in Sarasota, you can go to any of our Sarasota County libraries and check out one of these library backpack kits. They're pretty amazing. And there's a do-it-yourself energy and water audit kit that you can check out to do your own energy and water assessment at your home. There's also a family green living kit that has some really good books and resources for kids. And then Explore Your World backpack, which is also amazing, and you can explore your natural world with your family or your children, and that has books and activities in it as well. We just started on a heat outreach campaign this summer, and we're going to expand it into next summer and make a bigger push next summer when we have all of our materials fully developed. We just completed this extreme heat fact sheet, which we're going to be distributing. We're going to have videos and blogs, social media. We've also partnered with our Department of Health. And this spring, we are going to partner with NASA Develop, and they're going to create urban heat maps for us. They're going to show heat vulnerability, heart risk maps, and from satellite data and socioeconomic data. So that'll be really good too, to have as a resource when we do even more education and outreach about this next summer. We also have our Green Business Partnership. When Randy in our office works with businesses that want to get certified and recognized as a green business in our community, and they do solid waste management, water and energy conservation projects. And we have all of those businesses listed on our website. We also have composting classes at our office as well. And if you are interested in that, you can also purchase bins at our classes too, if you're interested in composting. Every year we do a sustainable communities workshop where we bring business leaders, citizens, other agencies together to talk about sustainability and climate work in our area. This year, we're partnering with the Science and Environmental Council to bring the Eco Summit and Expo. It's going to be an even bigger event, and it's going to be several events going on the same week. We are leading the Green Living Expo that's going to be in Sarasota at the Municipal Auditorium on December 2nd and 3rd. If you are in Sarasota and you know of, well, you don't even have to be in Sarasota. If you're in the area and want to participate in person, we are still accepting exhibitors probably for another couple weeks. And then there's going to be the Eco Summit on December 5th and 6th at the Van Wezel. Got some really great speakers lined up, including Carl Hyson. And all that week from November 30th through December 6th, there's going to be Evergreen Days at the Bay. So right in the same location, there's going to be family-friendly activities as well. We also have our Master Gardener Volunteer Plant Sale coming up next Saturday on the 14th at 8:30 at our office at Twin Lakes Park. There's also going to be an Ed Fest around that. So all of our team will be out there with various booths and educational material. And if you are in Sarasota and interested in learning more about the energy volunteer program, we're going to have training in March of next year. And you can see more of our classes there on that site. Also, this is a really good resource as well for anyone that doesn't really matter where you are. There is localized information on here though, but it's the Green Living Toolkit. And it has energy, food, waste, water, and nature categories. And each one of these has some things that you can do to live a more sustainable life all in one place. There's also a really great events tab up here that you can click on to see all the local events going on in our community. And this is just our Justice for All that we do through UF, and we have civil rights program where we do not discriminate. And so I'm just going to end it, and then I'll stop sharing and I'll answer any of the questions you have. But I always like to end with this quote. It's one of my favorite quotes by Jane Goodall. And it says, "You cannot get through a single day without having an impact on the world around you. What you do makes a difference, and you have to decide what kind of difference you want to make." And I truly believe that. I truly believe that everyone can do their part, and together we can create change.